Today, we're diving into a groundbreaking development in healthcare and prescription drugs. A world that often feels like it's designed by a committee of morally bankrupt hamsters. But hold on, this one's different. The US government is making a bold move to slash prescription drug costs for Medicare recipients, and I get it. You might be thinking, oh great, another Medicare story. But trust me, this is huge. We're talking about changes that could genuinely transform lives. The kind of change that makes you wonder why it didn't happen sooner. And stay tuned, because the next drug on the list might just surprise you. First up, we have a trio of drugs: Ozempic, Rybelsus, Wegovy. They're used for type 2 diabetes and weight management and have become so popular they're practically guest stars on Real Housewives. Next, we have Trelegy Ellipta, a vital medication for asthma sufferers, because apparently breathing freely should come at a premium, like it's a first-class upgrade for your lungs. Let's talk about Xtandi, a prostate cancer drug. Battling cancer is stressful enough without selling your house for medication. Pomalyst, a chemotherapy drug, also makes the list. It's almost like someone decided to put a price tag on hope itself, and surprise, surprise, it's ridiculously high. We also have Ibrance, used for treating breast cancer, because apparently healthcare in America is just one big game of how much you can afford to suffer. Ofev, a drug for idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, a serious lung condition, is on the list. You know a drug is expensive when even pronouncing its name makes you anxious. Linzess, chronic constipation shouldn't mean chronic debt. Next up, Linzess, a medication for chronic constipation, because the only thing worse than digestive issues is the debt from treating them. Calquence, another cancer drug, another shocking price tag. Calquence, another important cancer treatment drug, is included. Look, I'm not saying I enjoy doing taxes, but I'd rather pay taxes than have to remortgage my house for life-saving medication. Austedo and Austedo XR. Treating Huntington's disease shouldn't break the bank. Austedo and Austedo XR, drugs for treating Huntington's disease, also made the list. It's like someone saw a group facing a devastating diagnosis and thought, you know what would make this worse? Crippling medical debt. Breo Ellipta targets chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD. Apparently breathing is a luxury only the wealthy can afford. Tradjenta, a medication for managing diabetes, is also on the list. Because if there's one thing we want to do to people with a chronic illness, it's add financial ruin. And then there's Xifaxan, used for treating IBS and diarrhea. Because apparently the only thing worse than diarrhea is your bank account doing the same after buying this medication. Vraylar, an antipsychotic drug for mental health conditions, is on the list. We live in a society where it's acceptable to put a price tag on mental well-being. Janumet and Janumet XR, diabetes drugs that help manage blood sugar levels, made the cut. It's like they looked at a disease needing constant management and thought, let's make it more stressful. And finally, we have Otezla, used for treating psoriatic arthritis. Why treat a painful condition when you can also make someone question their financial stability? This initiative, part of the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022, could be a game changer for millions burdened by high medication costs. For too long, people have had to choose between their health and their financial well-being. It's about time the government stepped in to address this issue. This is just a first step, but it's in the right direction. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to celebrate by setting fire to a pile of my own medical bills. Stay tuned for more updates, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.